Hey friend, welcome to day 8 of our video mobility series. This is going to be short and sweet, same as usual. Today we are focusing on the lower body. Make sure that you have a resistance band or some kind of house coat band, skipping rope, whatever, it'll work. If you have everything you need though, let's get started. All right, for our first stretch, we are going to start down on the ground. Now I encourage you, I didn't mention it before, you may want a pillow. You're gonna be on your knees. Sometimes it's uncomfortable depending on the floor or the mat that you have, but grab that if need be. I'm gonna attempt this without it, but we are going to start in a lunge position. So 90 degrees with the front knee, around 90 degrees with the back knee. Chest nice and upright. We're actually going to step that front foot a little bit further, coming into a passive hip flexor stretch for our start. Now, if these are really tight here, just take it slow, given this is our first mobility exercise of the day. We're gonna be at our stiffest at this point. So letting ourselves go into that front knee. This is a hip flexor stretch. Really trying hard not to rely on that front knee, but setting some intention. I mean, it can support you. We just don't wanna rely on it too much. Take a few moments here. We are going to build on this, so find what feels comfortable for you. Only go as far as makes sense. You may even find as you sit here a bit or you are in this motion, I can feel myself kind of releasing into that further. Now, how we are going to build on this is we are going to drop one hand, so the hand that is opposite to the foot that is forward. We are going to bring up that back knee as best we can. And if you can grab it, I can barely grab it, but if you can, we're just gonna stay in this position. Right away, this should feel quite intense with the quad. Now, if you don't have this range of motion, here might be enough for you today, or just kind of playing around with what that feels like, and that's okay. If you can reach just a little bit and grab it, that's progress. I mean, if you can go all the way, that's great. If it's really intense, you can take a few seconds there, let it come down, then repeat. Good, don't mind that noise. Switching here, bringing one leg up, the opposite leg. We are moving into our opposite hip flexor stretch. Bending through that leg. Feeling a nice stretch through the front there. Feeling a nice stretch through the front there. We're going to drop that leg, opening up through that hip a bit if we need to, bending through that knee. Notice, does one side feel tighter than the other? Remember, if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Just focus on bringing that foot up, taking a couple seconds if you need to. Good, let's release that. Bring it down. Stretch it out, how's that feeling? We're gonna come to a seated position. Nice and gentle on those hips, especially if they were a little tight there. Coming to a seated position, we are going to do a pike stretch. So legs are going to be out in front. Back nice and upright. Okay, we're focusing on this movement coming from the hips, not from the back. So nice and upright, reaching up and overhead, reaching down. Okay, take a few moments here. Feet can just be kind of neutral. We don't need them to be super flexed or super pointed. Just making sure that our back is nice and flat, reaching through the chest, not hunching over, unless we're really at the end of our range of motion there. So if you're here, that's fine. If you're here, that's fine. If you're further, that's also good. Now, if you're curious what that little beeping noise was that you might have heard in the background, I'm going to use this opportunity. It's a little bit of diabetes awareness. So if you weren't aware, I'm a type 1 diabetic. That beeping noise comes from my phone. It is notifying me that my blood sugars are going low. I have it connected to my watch. A really cool feature for type 1 diabetics. It's made a huge impact in my life. So yeah, there you go. Little tidbit for that. You may know someone that uses it. That may be brand new information to you. It is connected. You can't see it. It's connected to my arm right now. So I have a sensor on my arm that is constantly taking my blood sugars. Good, you might have felt yourself release a little bit more while I was chatting. Okay, now we're going to use this opportunity to flex one foot. We are going to be moving into a calf stretch, but keep the legs straight. So really focusing. If you can't reach here, that's fine. Just focus on one foot flexing at a time. Go ahead and switch sides. Good, take a couple seconds here, shake that out, especially as you're stretching out our hip flexors and our calves. We are going to move into using our resistance band now. So we are going to lie on our back here. This is where we're going to use our band, whether it's a resistance band or whether it's a house coat. Just be careful here though. We want to make sure that we're not snapping ourselves in the face or anything like that. We are going to bring one leg up. We're going to bend through that foot, so toe is going to reach towards us. Now, if you don't have the flexibility come all the way here, that's fine. You may be back here. Regardless, we're going to flex that foot. That resistance band or that band is just going to assist with bringing that toe down a little bit more. We should feel that primarily through the calf, maybe a little bit of hamstring as well. Guess who's getting a juice box after this? Me, because I'm going low. Good, and a few more seconds here. Bring that down. Woo, that feels good. Getting your foot up, switching to the other side. I can notice already in myself that this one does not feel as mobile. My toe doesn't feel like it can come as close to me, and that's okay. Taking a few moments here, stretching out through that leg. If we need to bring it back, we can. If we need a little less in the hamstrings, I'm just going with what feels good for me, but please, if you were going out this way, that's totally fine as well. Got a few more moments here. I'm feeling like a nice posterior stretch all the way down. Good. Dropping that knee, letting the foot come out. Amazing job. We're going to come back up, come to a position that feels right for you. We are going to do a similar stretch to our last video. We are going to encourage a little bit of opposite rotation. So we've done the rocks, we did it in the last video, where you stay here for a little while. I actually want you to just do this really fluidly for about 20 times. Okay, try to keep those hips straight, torso straight. Should feel some movement in those hips there. Got about 9 left, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, core tight, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Check in with yourself. How did that feel? My mat's going all over the place. How did that feel? How are the hips feeling right now? We've got one last stretch here before we finish up. We're going to take that movement that we had before, legs wide, hands behind. I want you to take legs a little bit wider, and I want you to focus on now leaning knees in. So knees touching. You might right away feel this and be like, whoa, this is really tight. You may only want to do one side at a time. We just want to take a little bit of curiosity here as to how we're feeling. Do both feel really tight when we do that? Is it just one side? You know, we can do a little pulse here. If there's any kind of pain though, I don't want you to go too crazy. Should feel like a little bit of movement. It should feel like a stretch. Shouldn't feel like painful or pinchy. So just take a few here, a little curiosity. This feels really good on my hips. We're gonna shake that out. Check in with yourself, feel out those hips, stand on up, see if you notice a difference. Look, we're done video 8 for the day. Amazing job here. Hopefully your legs, your lower body are feeling quite good right now. That would be a great routine to do like after a run. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Please let me know how this one was for you. What has been your favorite so far? If you have any suggestions, and I'll be sure to include those. Thanks so much. See you next time.